Hello and welcome to my third episode. I am assuming you've already watched my previous two episodes. If not, please do so before watching this one. As promised in my previous episode of this podcast on redefining manufacturing excellence, I will share some more details in this episode. Today, I will introduce you to a phased methodology that emphasizes how critical it is for leaders first to understand the concepts, internalize them, understand the full potential, and then role model by actually deploying the processes to drive the right culture and behaviors that eventually become ingrained into the DNA and become daily norms all the way to work. Now, let me explain this a little bit. As you can see from the diagram, phase zero is about leadership preparation, which requires significant effort and energy. The entire program can only succeed if this phase is executed well. Leadership conviction, understanding, and awareness of how to gauge cultural transformation are critical. This includes understanding the potential of each phase, executing daily tracking and work processes, and identifying what daily management systems need to be monitored. Leaders must also have hands on experience, as many may need more operational knowledge. Regular refresher courses for leaders should be mandatory, with proper identification procedures, proper qualification procedures, especially for pillar leaders. Phase zero is all about leadership preparation. Leaders must immerse themselves in the concepts by actively executing the work processes and systems on the floor to see firsthand how they function. Leaders must understand the difference between a simple business need and a compelling business need. They must buy into the concept, understanding that it's an investment, not additional work. In the long run, it's how to operate daily and use this methodology versus just doing it. Leaders should clearly understand the run to target daily management systems and their health checks. They need to recognize the correlation between compelling business needs and strategies and how these will be measured through a pillar work process. They need to know how these will be tracked every single day, every single shift. In phase zero, leaders must define the total potential of the site by envisioning an ideal state, which should be revisited annually. Additionally, leaders should engage in conversations about how to conduct an organizational performance model, which is the OPM, how to do that assessment. They need to assess the cultural organization structure and culture and plan to mold these aspects to understand the current state and achieve both the future and the ideal states. This comprehensive understanding and preparation in phase zero is foundational for the success of the subsequent phases. Many companies fail to progress as this phase is poorly executed and is a one-time activity, which should not be the case. Phases 1 and 2 focus on capability building and culture development. New incoming leaders must go beyond phase 0 into phase 1 and 2 by embedding themselves within a team and selecting a mentor from the operating team. These phases are announced once leadership preparation is in place, and they follow a target-based approach, incorporating daily management systems and tracking methodologies. This includes understanding what to track, what to review, and how to measure progress. Conducting effective pillar reviews, utilizing PDCA, which is Plan, Do, Check, Act, and holding shift overlap and department overlap or department reviews. Also, module reviews and plant level daily reviews. It is crucial to determine what needs to be tracked at each level. The process revolves around plant-based loss analysis culture and capability building culture. As you can again see from the diagram, this is a cyclical process and not a sequential one. This is where many companies need to correct a fundamental mistake. One has to consider factors like attrition, new leaders and employees joining, expansion, technological upgrades, and product upgrades. It is essential to understand that the focus is not just on moving ahead, but on establishing a solid foundation for the organization to maximize the potential within each phase and eliminate losses accordingly. These phases are not sequential, a common failure point for many companies. It is crucial to keep the processes moving continuously rather than just advancing through the stages for progress. The collective assessment of these three phases helps measure plant loss elimination in terms of productivity, quality, delivery, safety, and morale, which we normally term as PQCDSM. It also assesses the depth of technical mastery, ownership culture, team responsiveness, and self sufficiency. Complex sites rapidly expanding with new products and technologies, experiencing high turnover or frequently onboarding new employees may find sequential progress challenging and feel frustrated if stable plants are recognized for advancing faster. It is also why companies tend to move forward with little of these cultural and capability traits and then fall or show no significant further progress. Ultimately, the top leadership realizes it wastes its effort and money, and everything is simply dropped. It is also why operating teams and leaders with less knowledge feel this is extra work in addition to running the regular daily business. Once this foundation is in place, there is ample opportunity to focus on phases 3 and phase 4 and even beyond. We all know that industrial landscape is very quickly evolving with demand for higher productivity, operational efficiency, constant information that is needed very fast, and workforce issues as manufacturing jobs are not the most preferred by the new generation. It is also essential to empower, enable, and energize the workforce. This drive for excellence goes far beyond traditional methods of managing factories and plants, requiring an innovative redefinition of how we approach work processes, culture, and technological integration. As you can see from the chart, this is where phase 3 and 4 would come in. These phases emphasize affordable digitization, automation, and work process simplification. Program logic controls, robotics, and other modern tools such as data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence come into play in these phases. This approach seeks to increase productivity and move beyond the plant walls towards a fully synchronized supply chain. Although these phases build upon one another, creating the right environment and culture is key before the leaders can see any tangible benefits. Only after this can you form a holistic system integrating leadership and cultural development with advanced technological capabilities. Now, at this point, let me share my own experience here with you. When I took over as manufacturing head for Pampers operations in Germany, we produced products for different parts of Europe. Our volume had significantly declined due to losing market share, primarily driven by changes in product design and severe quality issues. Consumer loyalty had eroded, and the urgent task was to rebuild that trust by innovative restructuring and redesigning the product to ensure we consistently delivered high quality product. This also required constant technological upgrades. This meant maintaining a robust innovation pipeline and adhering to stringent quality standards from day one. The pace of innovation necessitated continuous training for our teams, equipping them with the skills required for new processes and technology. Our focus was on improving line efficiency to a level that could sustain the next wave of innovations. While the goal was to ensure a smooth vertical startup for every single SKU and new product through rigorous testing, simulations, vendor shakedowns, and early onboarding of operators, the reality often demanded rapid learning and adaptation. Despite the tight timelines, we produced the products with impeccable quality to the market, rebuilding consumer confidence. As we regained market share, we made our first ever reinvestments in the plant, including adding new lines, expanding our distribution center, and increasing warehouse space. This led to the creation of more jobs and brought a renewed sense of optimism. Our marketing, sales, and product supply teams were highly pleased with the rapid turnaround we achieved. However, our parallel manufacturing excellence team, based at the corporate office, posed a challenge. This team was heavily scorecard driven, establishing strict go no go criteria for every process and for every phase. The site could only advance to the next phase if all KPI parameters were met. This put us in a difficult position. Either we could abandon our initiatives to meet these internal criteria, risking further loss of market share and consumer confidence, or we could stay focused on the actual business needs, running operations as efficiently as possible using the right pillar tools prescribed by the manufacturing excellence work process. The critical challenge was to ensure that the work processes, health checks, and cultural elements were maintained as we introduced new initiatives. This is where the cyclical phase 0, phase 1, and phase 2 approach helps. With a solid foundation in the base, the plant was able to bring in new initiatives, innovative technologies, and robotics quickly using advanced tools like machine learning and AI. The plant had a strong culture and showcased innovative approaches to digitization, automation, and simplification, meticulously following all work processes. However, we occasionally needed to catch up on a few parameters, such as unplanned stops and perfect line efficiency, which were the criteria for moving to the next level in a traditional system. With strong base foundation, we could minimize these blips and move on to use phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5 capabilities. The plant, which is the biggest globally with a technical center, largest distribution center, and R&D, became the state-of-the-art factory of the future. The site consistently demonstrated its capability and culture to deliver excellence. In periods when no initiatives were introduced for a couple of weeks, we met all criteria, proving that the plant had the potential to excel and elevate its performance to the next level under stable conditions. Many companies within P&G, as well as external organizations, would come to benchmark our site. It was a state-of-the-art plant, and it still is a state-of-the-art plant with benchmark systems, passionate and committed people, and high technical mastery. However, the corporate scorecard-driven approach of the manufacturing excellence team, who needed to grasp the program's intent fully, became a significant demotivating factor for our employees. While the marketing GM regularly sent accolades for our achievements, the manufacturing excellence team remained dissatisfied because we did not meet some of the scorecard numbers that they had established. This situation perfectly illustrates how leaders who lack a deep understanding of the program's intent can inadvertently create significant challenges despite the plant's overall success. Seeing these processes become so scorecard driven that their original intent was lost entirely, and this is extremely painful. As we benchmarked other companies like BMW and Lufthansa in Germany, we noticed they are advancing more innovatively. The traditional Six Sigma, TPM, and lean management systems are being redefined through data analytics, machine learning, and other automation and digital tools. This led us to realize that our programs needed to evolve as well. We can't continue relying on revolutionary or very old concepts from the 60s and 70s that are now outdated and create unnecessary work for the operators on the floor. It's time to redefine our approach to stay relevant and practical. I strongly recommend watching the previous two episodes to make some sense of what I said just now. In my next episode, I'll share more details on the specific approach by pillars in each phase and how phase 3 and phase 4 pillars look different from the phase 1 and 2. Thanks for watching.